Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be general messages for the sign of Libra for the month of July 2018. Hello, Libra. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Long time no see. Very long time, right? Because I didn't even see you guys in June. Oh, man. So I've got a lot of explaining to do. Things got crazy in my house in May. People were visiting and all that good stuff. And then that really threw me off track, and I was trying to catch up, but then I got sick in June, and then I got better, and then at the tail end of June, I got sick again with bronchitis, so I just haven't had the energy, the voice, the non-medicated mindset to come and do any readings for you guys, but I'm here now, back with the general readings. So if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. I appreciate your support. If you're new to my channel, I also appreciate your support. I'm glad to have you. Either way, I've shuffled off camera to kind of condense down on time here, so you've got your 6 main cards spread. And so what I'm going to do now is shuffle for your outcome, and then I'll also have the bottom of the deck, which will act as your overall energy. Once all cards are out, I'll flip it, and once they're all flipped and revealed, we'll begin the reading, okay? And again, Libra, I hope everything's going well in your life. Hope your summer's going well. If you're in the southern hemisphere, hope that winter's treating you well. Ooh, a little sticky here in the cards. There you are. Bottom of the deck is your overall energy. Aww. And there's your, excuse me, your outcome. So like I said, we'll flip all these and see what we've got, see what we're going to talk about today. Oh, well. Alright, Libra, let's see what's going on in your life, shall we? Where's Libra for July 2018? Where is Libra? Thank you. Here. Okay, that's good. Not like that. Anyway. Alright, Libra, so to begin your reading, you come in as the Wheel of Fortune. So, that has potentially a positive message for you. The Wheel of Fortune is kind of tricky. You know, many cards in the tarot deck aren't straightforward, and this is one of those cards where it's not straightforward all the time. Because, you know, it's the Wheel of Fortune. It sounds great, right? Ooh, a wheel, and it's made, or a wheel, and it's got nothing but fortune on it. Well, fortune is not, it's not, fortune can be good or bad, right? Like even like the game show Wheel of Fortune, the actual game show. You can win tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they even have, what, like $1 million on their little slice on the wheel or whatever. But you can win great prizes, but you can also go home with nothing, or you can go home bankrupt, or you can bankrupt within the game, right? You spin the wheel, it lands on the black space, and ooh, you know, so you lose all the money that you've earned. So there's a certain caveat when we're talking about the Wheel of Fortune. Given other things around it, I think you kind of have a mixed bag, Libra. I think you might be dealing with, like, okay, yeah, okay, so, like, and that kind of fits your archetype, being that you're the scales, right? There might be this feeling of extremes with you right now, Libra, and that is your spin on the Wheel of Fortune right now, is that you're kind of going from extremely one way, or extreme thoughts or feelings about something on this hand, and then you go onto the other hand, and it kind of like I said, you're like the scales. It kind of goes up and down on either side. I'm not really getting like a specific area of your life that this would resonate with right now, but wherever this might resonate for you, Libra, it feels like this is like a test for you, or like this is like a crucial moment in your life, or a pivotal moment in your life, where I think you're beginning to see bigger pictures, right? You're able to see bigger pictures, or you would be encouraged to see bigger pictures if you're not able to do it on your own, or, you know, you don't normally look at things from a bigger perspective, I think that the Wheel of Fortune would be here to kind of encourage you to do that. Because like I was just saying about the game show, you can go on a game show like Wheel of Fortune or anything else and want to win big, expect to win big. You hope, you hope, you hope. But if luck is not on your side, which is essentially what the Wheel of Fortune is associated with, luck, if luck's not on your side, you go home empty-handed, right? So there's this potential for things to go in your favor, and there's this potential for things to not go in your favor, right? And it's really like luck of the draw, roll of the dice, or to be more practical or more, I suppose, realistic, I think you kind of fluctuate where you feel one moment, maybe one day, maybe for a period in the day, or maybe for several days, you feel pretty optimistic about things in your life, prospects, the future, where you are right now, whatever, however this might resonate for you, and you feel that you're at the top of your game, things are going in your favor, you're around good people, you've got great things lined up in terms of business or in terms of school or in terms of your career, whatever. And you'll stay in that mode for a while, Libra, but then you spin the wheel again and you miss a turn. So maybe like you have a melancholy day. Then you spin the wheel again and then it hits bankrupt. And then you're back to feeling more pessimistic about your life. You feel as if there's no actual upside to anything, or you feel like you're stuck in a dead-end job, or you'll never be able to get into the school of your dreams, or the program that you want to study with, or study in, whatever it is. So it's this fluctuation between optimism and pessimism. And I'm not saying positive or negative. I want to say pessimism and optimism because it's your attitude. It's your outlook. It's not, this fluctuation feels very mental. It doesn't feel super, even though you do have the Ace of Cups there, but that might factor in on the other side. I'm feeling this is like a L shape here and then a like reverse L over here. But I'm feeling that this fluctuation is mental. I feel it's like you see the world with, you see a horizon, sky's the limit one day, and then you wake up the next day and it's like, no, life is everything about your life can be explained within the four walls of your home or the four walls of your workplace, and you feel really limited. So you go from feeling really expansive and like I said, sky's the limit, you can do anything, there's no mountain you can't climb, and then you go the next day and you feel like you're underneath the mountain. You can't get out of whatever ditch you're in or whatever rut you're in, and you feel really constrained. So it's like this very conflicting or contradictory sort of feeling or mental state that you're in, and it fluctuates. It goes up and down like a roller coaster or something. And I think it's because ultimately your happiness is on the line with the Sun card right above the Wheel of Fortune. So you have a lot riding on this phase in your life, this stage or this pivotal moment in your life. Your happiness is in your mind, in your, it's like your target. You want this. The Sun represents elation, joy, abundance, just out of this world happiness, contentment, camaraderie with some of you. With some of you, this is like dealing with relationships, like not just romantic or anything, but like having people around you that you are just enamored with, and they're enamored with you, and you're sharing, and it's open, and it's loving, it's supportive. There's a lot that can be said about the Sun card, but ultimately it's about happiness, contentment, feeling abundant, feeling expansive again, feeling as if the world, there's no limits to you in this world, things like this. And that's above you, right? If you're here, it's above you. So that's in your conscious mind. It's something that you have as an explicit goal. And that's great. It's what many of us should have as our goal. But there's an issue where you go down here where across from you, which is like on your baseline, aka what I'm feeling is like your reality, what you might be dealing with right now, circumstances you might be dealing with now, other people you might be dealing with now, or just this fluctuating mindset between here and here. This is like the fluctuation, right? You're here, and sometimes you've got this sunny, happy disposition, and other times it's not so great. And other times it gets really dark. It might be pretty destructive. It might be really apathetic, or it might be really the two words that came in were demented and did I say destructive already? But it gets pretty dark, and it's like this. I hate to harp on your archetype because I feel like you're not in the mood to hear that right now, Libra. Like Libra doesn't want to be told stereotypical things about Libra, but that's kind of what it is. It's like the scales. It's like at one moment it's heavy on the happy side and it's very light on the dark side, and then boom, then it switches and the weight shifts. And that's what I feel is going on here. And there are three major arcana, so it's definitely, as much as I feel it's a mental state and it's something that I think you're pretty aware of, or if you really thought about it, you would become aware of. But beyond that, I think it's also influential because, again, the Wheel of Fortune here, and I was mentioning stages and phases of your life, like pivotal moment in your life. This definitely would bring that argument home, or bring that point home. When you have major arcanas, that's usually an influence. It indicates that the universe is having some kind of an influence on you at this moment. Okay? So 3 major arcanas, the universe, God, whatever you believe in or whatever you don't believe in, something more than yourself, is basically highlighting what this all represents, how this is coming out. So this fluctuation in your mental state, the universe wants you to pay attention to that. The universe is showing you, yeah, you've got good days. You've got optimism. Yeah, you've got bad days, and sometimes you're pessimistic. The fluctuation, what does that mean? Like the universe is like sort of I think I said that before with the Wheel of Fortune, testing you. You're being tested. Yeah, and it can go in your favor or it cannot. And how I just said, you don't want to be told like stereotypical things about yourself. I feel like you don't want to be told anything. If I'm honest, I think this in some sense is overwhelming or burdensome or just annoying and irksome to you, that you do have good days, you do have bad days, and you're kind of melancholy. Sometimes you're like caught between both. I think that is exhausting and frustrating for you. It's annoying. Like I said, it's irksome. And to be told, or that it might be hinted to you or suggested to you that, oh, it's a test. And it's for, the universe is out there asking you what's the deeper meaning behind this. Like, you just want to like throw up the middle finger and like walk away. So there's sort of, I think there's a lesson at play here, Libra. I don't know what it is. Because again, I'm not getting this in any specific area of your life right now. I'm getting it very generally, very broadly. Like I said, it could be career, it could be relationships, it could be your home life, it could be even just your own disposition, your own personality. Maybe you are going through some type of change where, maybe you're having a midlife crisis or something. Maybe like, you've accomplished everything in your professional field. You have a great family at home, and now you're kind of like, well, what else is there in life? And maybe you're having like an existential crisis almost. However this plays out for you, Libra, as much as I feel you don't want it to be a test, and I don't think you like the notion of being tested. I don't think you like the notion of being challenged in this way, because it's difficult, right? To ask these deeper questions of yourself and get to like deeper meanings and motivations of why you do things in life, or why you want certain things in your life, or why your life is going this way and why your life might be going that way, or how you see the potential in your life going some third way. It's huge to be asked those questions, especially if you don't want to be asked them. and I talked about this card, but I didn't introduce it. So you have the Tower. So the Tower is like that side. The Tower definitely is encouraging this whole, I don't want to be tested. I don't want to be analyzed or anything like that, which is kind of ironic. Like, if you're watching a tarot reading, to a certain extent, you want to be analyzed or you want help in your analyzation. But regardless of that, the Tower also represents huge... I don't want to be too dramatic, but like earth-shattering moments in your life. Certain circumstances, certain events, certain disagreements or fallouts or anything like that. And I'm saying huge, I'm saying earth-shattering. I forget who had the Tower. Was it... I don't think it was Virgo. It was some sign previous to it. It might have been Cancer. Where I'm saying that, but don't expect it to come that way. Like, I mean, the artwork on the card, you know, you see the Tower, the lightning strikes the Tower, the two people are jumping to their doom, and there's fire and all that stuff. It's pretty daunting, right? But the actual manifestation in this reality of the Tower doesn't have to be so dramatic. It doesn't have to be fireworks and explosions and buildings on fire and people are running in the streets screaming their heads off and people are crying in hysterics. No. It could be as simple as... A Tower moment can be as simple as a fender bender, right? You know? It could be something where you get into an accident and that causes you to be late for something, or it causes you to cancel an appointment that you were traveling to, and because you canceled that appointment, then something else happens. It's like a domino effect. It's like the butterfly effect almost, where something that seems really insignificant, seems to be quite inconvenient, changes the course of your life for the foreseeable future, right? Because if you had gone to the appointment, maybe you would have had a certain altercation with your doctor or with someone in the waiting room, or if you made it to the interview, maybe you would have accepted the job, but that job would have been terrible, it would have been soul-crushing, it would have just drained you of all your passion in life. So because you missed the interview, you don't get a second chance to interview, so then you go and you find the actual job you're supposed to have. Do you see what I mean? So it can seem inconvenient, it can seem inconsequential, but whatever the Tower moment is in your life, it doesn't have to be, like I said before, earth-shattering, even though the effect is earth-shattering or life-changing, but the actual way in which it presents itself does not have to be so dramatic. That's the point. So you're fluctuating between these two energies. You're fluctuating between this energy of pessimism and sort of like being cautious about what's going on around you. Skepticism is also kind of associated with the Tower card because it's based in fear. You know, the Tower card has an association with fear or worst nightmares come true kind of thing. So some of you are worrying a lot. Like, again, optimism and pessimism. So there's this fluctuation between these two energies. And in the center is this Wheel of Fortune, which is where you are. You can spin the wheel and maybe it's going to go in your favor. You can spin the wheel and maybe it won't go in your favor. And again, I think it's a mental state that you're fluctuating with. Whether or not you're actually spinning the wheel and getting a result, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Where's Libra next? Right, okay, so the Ace of Cups? Yeah. So the Ace of Cups is sort of in the mix between these three, but then also talks to these two over here. So the Ace of Cups, traditionally interpreted as, you know, a love offer, the beginnings of new love, budding relationships and affinity and all that good stuff. And there's a potential for that here. But I think, again, like, it's sort of like a goal. Or it's sort of like a fixation. If it's not like a goal, it's like a fixation. And so, again, I think, Libra, you really want to be happy. Who doesn't, right? You want to be happy. You want to be fulfilled. You want to be contented. But there's like this sort of, like, again, this pessimism or even like a lack of belief here. So some of you might be on the verge of like a new love offer, a new love relationship, and it's good. You like, maybe you're dating someone, or maybe you're just, out enjoying yourself, having a couple of dates in the month with different people, and you're having a good time, but part of you is like, but when's the other shoe gonna drop? When's the bottom of this gonna fall out? Like, you're expecting a tower situation. Oh, okay, thank you. Like, part of you, the sun is attached, like these are all attached. So the sun is attached. So you do feel optimistic about this love relationship. If this is love for you. This is very limited now. This could apply, like I said, it could be an interview, a job interview or you're out there looking for a new job. So you could be really like, you want to align yourself with something that fulfills you, or you want to align yourself with a person that fulfills you. So you're feeling pretty optimistic about your prospects. But a part of you, this one here, is like in the back of your mind, like nagging at you. It's not going to work out. This isn't going to happen. They don't really care about us the way we care about them. Or this job sounds too good to be true. Then you start working there and you learn about the little perks around the office. The people are great. And you're just like, oh, it's too good to be true. Something's going to happen to come along and mess this up for me. Like, you're anticipating a terrible event. Whether or not that's true, I cannot tell you. I can't predict that. I don't see like, oh yeah, you're right, Libra, dump them because they're going to dump you. Like, some of you might be in that mindset. I got to dump this person before they dump me. Like, you have to in order to protect yourself, you have to cut them off before they cut you off. Before they ghost you, you have to ghost them. It's kind of like this get them before they get you attitude in some of your cases in a relationship. In other cases, like regarding a job, you're just waiting to be like called into the manager's office and told, it's not working out. We let you work here for 2-3 weeks, but we're just not seeing it. Even though everybody in the office is like, hey, Libra, what's up? How are you doing? Are you liking it here? Oh yeah. And I saw what you did on blah, blah, blah account. That was amazing. That was really cool. And you're like being congratulated and you're being told you're doing a good job. But even again, too good to be true. You're not believing the good things because you just expect this to happen. I don't know that you're quote unquote wrong for expecting the worst or anticipating the worst, I should say, because that's life. Like I said earlier, ups and downs. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right? And the Wheel of Fortune there, again, it's like it could spin in your favor, it could not spin in your favor. It really all depends. I think there's a issue, though, of why that's happening. You have an issue, Libra, with faithfulness. I sound like so like I'm Dr. Phil or something over here. Anyway, you have an issue with faithfulness. Card of Hierophant. The Hierophant card, which represents the sign of Taurus. Some of you might have a Taurus of significance in your life. And traditionally, the Hierophant is not interpreted about faithfulness, but I'm going that way because that's what it feels like. And it feels like you have an issue in faith, in believing in yourself. Some of you, this is an issue of self-confidence, of being self-assured, of being loyal to yourself. Because in that way, I guess the Hierophant applies, because the Hierophant traditionally talks about systems, talks about institutions, governments, schools, religion, things like that. And that obviously, all of those and even more have issues of faithfulness and loyalty in them. A lot of times in a government or in terms of like a patriotism, it's kind of expected or is like a no-brainer that you would be loyal to your nation wherever you're born, which of course is silly because we all don't have the luxury of being born in amazing countries. Most of us, well, not most of us, many of us in this world are born into nations that are not great. So let me get off my soapbox real quick and go back to this. So yes, there's this issue of faithfulness and loyalty in government, in patriotism, in schools, like even, I'm sure many of you can relate to like colleges and universities, sports teams, or even just being loyal to local sports teams, like your city. If you're like from New York, it's like, yeah, Yankees all the way. That's a terrible New York accent, but you know what I mean. So that's kind of where I'm seeing this. And Libra, that's an issue for you right now. Because behind this love offer, and again, it doesn't have to be love in a relationship. It could just be your love and affinity towards your career, your job. Maybe some of you are interested in volunteerism, or it could just be love within your friends or your family relations. It doesn't have to be romantic love every time a tarot reader says love offer, okay? Because we love many things. And one of your greatest relationships, or one of your greatest points of love for anybody, not just Libra, is loving yourself. So that's where I think I had said something about self-confidence or self-belief or whatever I was saying. So behind the love offer, wherever the offer is situated, there's this issue of fidelity, this issue of loyalty, this issue of being aligned and having a firm belief that it's going to work out, that it is for your highest good, that you deserve it. Oh, thank you. A lot of you have issue with feeling like you don't deserve the good stuff. Pessimism, right? A pessimistic person doesn't believe that good things happen to them. They don't think that luck is on their side. They don't think that they have a chance in the world to succeed, okay? So some of you are having these deep issues of self-worth, or evaluating your self-worth, or being able to quantify it, or being able to express it, or accept it, or even recognize it. Some of you are doing some comparison things because, again, systems with the Hierophant card. So if you are having issues of self-worth and understanding your value in a workplace, you might be comparing yourself to your coworkers, to your teammates. And you're like, oh, well, I do pretty good here in the sales department, but I'm not as good as Michelle. Or I think I'm doing all right, but I saw that Brian got, picked to do whatever. Like, you feel inadequate in some kind of way. And the Hierophant, again, related to Taurus, how Taurian energy would apply to this card, I feel. Taurus is very much a loyal sign, right? And I did Taurus's reading like 2 days ago or something like that. And when I talk with Taurus regularly, it is an issue for them that they can sometimes become so aligned to a situation, to a person, to a mindset that they can't let go. Your issue, Libra, is that you can't attach. Like, that's what I'm feeling. Like, you can attach, but you can't, like, when a Taurus is attached, a Taurus is attached. They get in there deep. Their roots deep in their attachment. And Libra, I think, and I'm saying it like all of you are this way. It's not for all of you. If this doesn't resonate, it's not for you. But if it is, some of you are having issue of getting deep. Or once it gets deep, you're like, oh, this is too serious. They're going to find out I'm a fraud. They're going to find out I'm a phony. Or when it actually comes time for me to show how much of a team player I am, how much of an amazing supportive partner I am, I'm not going to be able to do it. You don't believe that you're as great as you are. Not necessarily that you are portraying yourself to be, but that people are believing you are. Interesting. Yeah. And so this love offer, this potential connection with another person, or like I said, with a situation in terms of job, family, whatever. I think you want it. It's aligned here with the Sun card, and it's attached to your ideal your ideal of contentment, your ideal of happiness. It's attached. But again, behind it, it calls into question, how loyal can you be? How much of your own value do you actually believe in? Do you actually believe you're an amazing person, Leo? Leo. The L's always trip me up. Libra, my apologies. Do you actually believe that you're someone of significance, of stature, of status, who maybe, you are in a job and the offer coming your way is one of a promotion? Maybe they want to make you an executive. Maybe they want you to take over managing a certain department. And it's something you want, right? It would make you happy. You've always envisioned yourself to be a great leader. But then something comes nagging from the deepest part of you, the deepest part of your mind, Libra, and they're like, you're a phony. We can't do that. Like, it's like this deep, deep-seated self-doubt. And it's not even self-doubt in your capabilities or your abilities. It's self-doubt in your longevity. Okay? If we do that, that means we have to stay here for like another 10 years. We were looking to get out of this job in like 4 years. If we take this position, it means I'm locked into this company. If I move in with this person when they ask me, let's go to the next level in our relationship, that means we'll probably get engaged and then we'll get married. Oh no. So you have issue with the longevity of it because, again, the Hierophant is about systems and institutions. Religion, government, schools, all these types of things. Not to say they haven't changed, that they don't evolve, that they don't progress, but they are mainstays in society. Most societies have some form of government. The government will change, but the institutional structure and systemic presence of a government is constant. You don't have a society in most cases that is absent of government. So you know that whatever you're being asked to accept or participate in or go to the next level in is going to be a constant. You will constantly have to deal with that. You'll constantly have to deal with the status of being the department manager. You're going to have to handle all of the coworker or the issues with your workers. You're going to have to deal with issues with your higher ups. You're going to constantly be that middleman, and there will be no reprieve. There's not going to be any rest. You move in with the person, you can't walk. You can't do all of your little idiosyncrasies around this person because that would ruffle their feathers. You can't leave your socks in the hallway like you normally do at your apartment. Like when you move in with this person, you're going to be expected to put your socks into the hamper. So it's like slight trepidation, but it's mostly here in the Tower card. There's a lot of positive energy or potential positive energy elsewhere, but the Tower is really, it's anchored in the middle, right, of all of these, so it has significant place. It's not easy to get over it or defeat it or combat it. I think what would help is the Eight of Wands, which is indicative of communication. So some of you are in need of talking it out, weighing your options out, or, listing pros and cons of accepting these offers or moving to the next level in your relationships, or, even just going to therapy. Some of you might have, not a need, I don't want to say a need, but you might have, you might find benefit if you go and speak to a therapist of some sort, right? But the idea, I think, is, because I said before, this is like mental, right? This little corner here where I was talking in the beginning. Your mental state is fluctuating because you're not speaking. You need to speak. And of course, you're an air sign. For God's sakes, you can speak. You have the ability. Open your mouth. Air signs associated with the element of swords and in the tarot, or excuse me, the suit of swords in tarot. And air signs are all about communication. They're all about thought and logic and being able to reason through a situation. So maybe that's it. Maybe you, and this is not, of course, the Eight of Swords. If it was, it'd be a totally different reading. But the Eight of Wands does talk about the need to communicate. And a lot of times, Libra, the act of active talking allows you to kind of exercise some of those darker parts of yourself and really see them, not to carry into like a pun, but in the light of day, they kind of don't hold weight. Like, you'll realize some of those pessimistic thoughts are kind of ridiculous. They're kind of just unrealistic, you know? And other times you'll find out, no, they are very real, and they speak to bigger issues that need to be addressed or need to be highlighted and labeled and recognized. But regardless, I feel that you need to speak. You may need to speak with someone specifically. Might be someone of the Hierophant, might be someone in a position of power, because the Hierophant can also talk about leadership within those institutions. So that could be your boss. If this is a work situation, hey, you know, I know you guys want to promote me, but I'm like, you know, and depending on the demeanor of your boss, you might be able to have an honest conversation with them and express your concerns. If I take this job, if I move up and I take on these other responsibilities, I really, really want it, but I'm a little nervous, I'm a little apprehensive about blah, blah, blah. And then you just express yourself to your boss. Some of you, again, that might be like a counselor, or if you're religious, it could be someone who in your church, or you know, who's a leader, pastor or something like that, or a priest if you're old school. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody, but you see what I mean. So there might be a specific person who you need to speak to, who can offer you insight, who can give you good feedback, or at least not even good, but constructive feedback. But there's a lot of, because again, this was like contained in your head. You need to get out of your head. Okay, Libra, you need to get out of your head. Anything else with the Eight of Wands? Excuse me. Also, there's a feeling of movement here. So some of you might be moving, like I think I said that about possibly moving in, but others of you just might be moving to a different area of the city or a different state or whatever. So this might center around your anxieties or your hopefulness, and then your sort of doubtfulness of how successful you're going to be once you move to the big city, or once you move to the small town, or move to a different country, whatever it is. So some of you, it might be an issue of actual travel, and it's kind of giving you some pause. It's kind of making you feel like, oh, this is a great opportunity, but oh my God, I might fail and fall flat on my face. That's terrible. Okay. What's your outcome for July? You've got the Nine of Pentacles. So that's good. Libra, you've got this card, the Nine of Pentacles, which talks about being successful, being successful in a self-contained way. So you're able to stand on your own 2 feet and then some. You're going to be okay. You're going to, in terms of money, many of you will have that, the actual physical, you'll actually have the monetary resources to help you along your way. So again, if you take on the new job, and you take on the promotion, more money in the bank, boom, Nine of Pentacles. Others of you, it's more about that confidence, that feeling set and stable and structured in your own body. Like literally your own body, your own person, right? Some of you, you look in the mirror and you're like, who the hell is that? Your outcome is saying you're going to find out who the hell that is. You're going to feel great about who that is. You're going to recognize who that is, and you're going to see the value of that, the person that is reflected back to you. You're going to be able to go, I know who that is. That's Libra, and Libra looks good. Libra feels good. Libra is awesome. Libra is making moves. Da 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 da. Right? So there's just this outcome that sees your perspective on the upswing and that's amazing. In terms of love, romantic relationships, the Knight of Pentacles is often associated with the singlehood card, the single ladies. Oh, I'm a single lady. All that, right? So some of you are going, not necessarily to be single, but I think you're going to feel, like I said before, really assured in who you are, like comfortable in your own skin. Whether you're actually single and you're out dating people, or you're enjoying being by yourself, going home after a night, after a day's work, putting on the sweatpants and watching Hulu, and until your eyes fall out, whatever. No matter where this is hitting, because I'm not feeling this as a love thing specifically. I'm not feeling this specifically at work. It can apply to any part of your life, Libra. But your outcome is basically saying you're going to be chilling. The Nine of Pentacles also is a card that lacks worry or anxiety or any type of pressurized feeling. Like anxiety and worry and depression, like those can be very pressurizing, very like dampening, like you feel weighed down by them. This is a card of like weightlessness almost, like you feel like you walk on clouds, your clothes are made of clouds, you eat clouds, you poop clouds, like you feel really light and airy. So there's this feeling of relief with this card in your outcome. So that's amazing, that's beautiful. Wonderful. Overall energy for the month is the Six of Cups. So, Six of Cups traditionally is a soulmate card and all that good stuff. And again, soulmates are not just people you sleep with in a sexy time way. It can be a brother, a cousin, a best friend, okay? But that's the traditional understanding of Six of Cups. And it also sometimes talks about nostalgia, things coming back from your past, or people from your past, or even just people that remind you of things that have happened in your past, or other people from your past, right? But what I'm getting is, this is more talking about the offer and the contentment and the sort of, is it going to happen? Is it in the cards for me? No pun intended. Right? So this Six of Cups, I feel, is talking about, you want this, you want that, like, beyond, the whole soulmate thing or anything like that. The Six of Cups is about a bond. It's about this shared relationship where, as much as you feel the need to protect and comfort someone else, they would feel the need to comfort and protect you, and it's reciprocal, right? It goes in this circle, right? It's shared. And I think that's this card has come in as your overall, because I think that's kind of the core of the issue, Libra, is that, not to get like all deep on you, but remember when I was talking to you over the Hierophant card about commitment or fidelity and faithfulness and loyalty, I think that there's an issue with you there getting deep. Again, not necessarily with a person, couldn't be with a circumstance, can be with your home life, your work life, whatever. The Six of Cups is a card of depth, of weight, and it is intense. And it also, on the flip side, or not on the flip side, but the underpinning of all of that is vulnerability. You would be asked to be vulnerable with the Six of Cups, and you want to be. And I think maybe that's there we go, back to the Wheel of Fortune. That might be the lesson, or what you're being tested with: vulnerability, being willing to take the risk, being willing to roll the dice, spin the wheel, whatever. And if it comes up bankrupt, will you die? That's like that meme. But did you die? No. Nobody died because they went bankrupt on the Wheel of Fortune game show. Nobody died. Okay? And the Tower card and ideas of pessimism or whatever, and, like I said, it could be an event that seems inconsequential but has life-changing consequences, none of that, quote unquote, will, quote unquote, why am I quoting? Anyway, none of that is going to kill you. None of that is going to put you in the ground. If you lose, you don't stop. And that's the vulnerability that's in the Six of Cups. You may want this, or you may have this connection with someone, but it might not be forever. Or it doesn't come without strife. You're not always going to get along if this is a person, or you're not always going to jump out of bed happy to go to work. That's just not reality. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. And not to say that's what you expect, Libra, but I think because you know that is a potential, you allow that potential to limit you sometimes. I think the test is to not be limited by the potential of bad things, okay? That's just what was coming through at the end there. That might not be your actual test, but whatever. So that's going to be your reading for July, Libra. I appreciate you guys watching up until this point. If it resonated with you, leave a comment below. I would love to hear how it applies to your life. You can also hit the like button. That would be amazing. And if you don't want to do any of that, that's also okay. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. That is amazing. But if you don't want to, that is also okay. I'm fine either way. Also, check the description box below if you're interested in a personal reading with me. I would love to work with you. There's steps down there on how you can go about doing that. And I will be back in about 2 weeks' time, and then I will do your August reading at that time. Okay, Libra? Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.